everybody, this is Bronislava for Handmade Rukodelky. In my New Year's video, I promised that I will show you how to knit this project, which is a glove. And what we will need is two rectangles. Here is one, okay, and here is another one. So these two rectangles are going to go and create our glove. And just quick mention that I have made gloves like this for my friend, and it will actually go with this hat. And you remember, some of you probably already seen the hat that I have made it in another video. These mittens, we will need two rectangles, and here is one. This is the main one that goes around your palm like this. Okay, and as you see, I made it from two colors just to make it more interesting, but you can go and make it from one color. This rectangle I started with white or cream color. This is my cast on, and as you see, this is my bind off because it has these chain like stitches. The gloves or mittens have to be like mirror image. So since we started with white, we will start now with blue. So since we will be starting now with blue color and finishing up with cream color or white color, when you're making the other mitten, you will do just the opposite. You will knit with the white color and then finish with blue color. We will cast on 24 stitches, and if you are very new to this to knitting, you can watch several of my videos how to start, and don't get frustrated because it can be a very tedious job. Also, you need to have very good dexterity of your fingers, and brain has to get used to it. So don't get frustrated if you cannot do it right away. Just practice, okay? 24 stitches here, all right, and I left actually long tail because I will be using it for sewing, all right. So do the same thing. Actually, when I started casting on, my tail was about 40 inches long, okay. And now we just will knit 19 rows, all right, very easy. Knit 19 rows. And actually, let me show it to you also in English style, because lots of people knit in English style. So you just knit, you do just knit, stitch, right? You put your needle in and wrap that yarn around and pull it forward, and you put needle in, wrap the yarn around, pull needle forward. Okay, so you just knit 19 rows back and forth, and that's how you will get that garter stitch pattern. Okay, it's very easy. When you have 19 rows, then we will start knitting with white or cream color, and you can choose whatever color you want, or you can go and do it only with single color. You don't have to change any colors. Okay, let me show you that garter stitch. I have a couple of videos on garter stitch, so you see these little wavy things. Okay, each of these is 2 rows. Okay, so just knit 19 rows, and when I have 19 rows, we will start working on the cream color. I'm starting second row, and usually this stitch kind of stays really big. So what I usually do is I really tighten this first stitch up. I tightened up the one that I just made and also the very first stitch. Otherwise it would be really wide along that edge, and you don't want that. And let me show you again, okay? I'm talking about this edge. You see, this is what we are tightening up very much, okay? Because we will be wearing the those gloves this way. Let me show you. This is how we will be wearing the gloves, okay? So you want this to be, you know, fairly tight. You don't want it to be blah, like that, okay? I'm finished with my 19 rows, and I'm ready to start knitting with my white color or cream color yarn. And as you see, I started on this side and finished on this side, and I cut this I will be using for tying this together. So this should be about, I would say, 10 inches long, okay? But like over here on this side, this is where I started, right here. This is where I started, finished here, then started over here with the blue one, because you remember I started working with the off white color, with the cream color, and then started working with the blue and going up 19 rows and finished. And you need to decide which color is going to be the longest. So over here I have the longest, the white color, and here also. And since my white is the longest, so I will make this one also really long, and probably at least 14-15 inches. And I just will start knitting with white color, okay? And then when I finish, when I bind off, my white is gonna be long also. So we will just knit with white or cream color, whatever you call this color, 19 rows, okay? Or I will show it to you also in English style, because you all know that I prefer knitting with continental style, which makes it much faster knitting. But here you go, we are knitting with English style, okay? And so when I have 19 rows, I will bind off my stitches. And basically when I bind off my stitches, I will end up on the same side like when and here I, like I told you before, you see, tighten it up. So when I finish binding off, I will have those the white one on the same side where the blue one is, okay? So I will have 2 in the middle here and 2 on the other side on each corner, just like in this one here. Look, here is blue and here is white, and 2 in the middle. That's what you need to do, okay? All right, so knit 19 rows, and when you have 19 rows, I will see you then. So I'm finished with my 19 rows of cream color, and I'm ready to bind off. So you knit first stitch, you knit second stitch, and you pull the first stitch over second. Now you have first stitch here, you knit second stitch, and you pull that stitch over. And this is how it's done with English style. Again, you knit stitch and you pull this stitch over the first stitch or second stitch. So this is first stitch, this is second stitch, first stitch over second stitch. Okay, and you bind off. I also have other videos actually that you could go and watch. Maybe it's in a slower motion, I'm not sure. I forgot. They've been done quite a while ago. And when you're finished binding off, I will show you what to do next. I just wanted to show you what to do with the last stitch. So you knit it, you pull it, you pull the last stitch over, or the first stitch or second stitch over the first. I can't remember anymore which stitch is what stitch. And you still need to make one more stitch basically, and I did it with my fingers to you know, to make sure that it doesn't untangle, because it would be kind of semi-finished. And like I said before, leave a longer tail over here, okay, because we will use this one for sewing. So now I have two mittens, semi-finished mittens, and as you see, we need to, this is the inside, so when you fold it and when you fold this one, here is gonna be your thumb on the, you know, when you put it over your hand. Okay, so on this side is gonna be your thumb. So we will sew this part and this part, and you have to make decision how big opening for your thumb and where you want it. Okay, so you have to measure your hand, and this is the same thing. All right, you will go and sew this part and this part and leave opening over here for this thumb, or vice versa. If you want the white one to be on the palm and blue one on the top of the hand, that's fine too. Okay, but I think the white one would get less dirty if it would be on the top of the hand. As you see over here, I have a prototype that I have been working on, and so now what we need to do is do this, okay, this part. So that's why we have those two yarns over here, and we will weave them in here, and we will tighten them up real tight so we close this this side or this end, and then we will continue sewing with white yarn along over here and finish you know, finish somewhere around here, and you have to measure where you want it to finish, and then leave this opening, and then you will use white yarn from here and go up. Okay, you will go and use white yarn and go in the opposite direction. So you will basically use the same color to go here from top down and stop, and from bottom up and stop, you know. And over here I left 4 stitches, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches basically, or actually I have 3 stitches that are not sewn in here. All right, and you have to count how many stitches you want down from the top of your fingers, how far you want to go. Then you will leave those 4 stitches, and then you will go from the opposite direction and sew it up. Okay, and then you will do the same. You will do the same thing for the other pair. All right, so let me show you how to go and sew this top. So I'm not going to worry about knitting thumb part yet. Let's first start putting this glove together like I showed you before. Okay, so I already put my needle over here because we will be using that needle to scrunch up this real tight. Okay, and you see here is my blue, here is my white or cream color, and what we need to do is we need to actually kind of crisscross it. So you will put blue on this side, white on this side, and then go across each other, go back. Okay, so they kind of crisscross each other. Then take the shorter one, and because then you will continue, when you put needle into the long one, you will continue sewing on the side, so you really don't want to be changing the needle back and forth. Okay, and you will just start placing the needle through these little bumpy things in here. Okay, all right, there, one bumpy, second bumpy, third bump right there, and another bump right there, and another bump. Okay, through those bumps. That's what I did the first time, and continue going through those bumps. Here is one bump, here is one, and here is another one, and that's the last one. Okay, take the needle out and put the needle into the long one, and we will do the same. We will go through these bumps over here. Okay, come on, there is the bump. Also make sure that these 2 lines are on the inside. This is, you're doing this on the inside. Okay, and this is gonna be your outside. Okay, unless you want to have it the other way around, that's okay too. You can do whatever you want. So here we have another bump and another bump. Okay, let's pull that through. It's gonna be probably a little easier. And another bump and another bump, and 2 more bumps here. Okay, very good. And now what we do is we will tighten these up very, very tight. And actually we will tighten them up this way because we will be, this is on the inside, and we will be sewing on the inside. Okay, and we need to we need to tighten them up so they create that roundness. Okay, and okay, let me do it this way. Let me use the blue one to tie up. Okay, there you go. and one more. Okay, so we are tied up now. Look, you see? Cool, right? You can always rearrange that a little bit in here. Spread it out nicely and evenly here if you need to. Okay, very good. So that's done, and now we will start sewing these stitches together. Okay, so this and this stitch will go together. Okay, so what I will do is I will take my white yarn and go through this stitch and this stitch, and then we will go and use our cast on stitch and go through next bind off stitch. Let me see, it's right here, this one. So it has to look like chain over here. Okay, and you will go through the first of these, so it's not too bulky. Okay, so we have this one. Now we will go through the next one, so we end up out here and we have to go in the opposite direction. Okay, and we went through this one, so we will use this one. And now we will go through this one, next one, and next one over here. And then we go through this one and the next one. This one we used, so we go through this one. And then we go through this one and this one. Okay, and continue until it reaches somewhere in here. Okay, when you put your hand in there, I'll show you shortly. I think I reached that area right here. All right, where I want to finish sewing for my thumb, for the hole. Okay, so this is how it looks, and what I will do is I will go one more time in, and I'm not going to make a knot just yet because I'm not really sure if I will use this for sewing the thumb part. Maybe yes, maybe no. But now we will sew in the opposite direction, and we will leave about 4 stitches out of here. So let's do that. Let's go and put yarn through this needle and start sewing over here. So I will start sewing with this bump right here. I will just make it, because we want it flush over here. Okay, so now we need to do this one with next stitch, which is here. Can you see it? And so this is, I think, our second, and I said 7, right? So this is 2, this is 3. It's gonna be either let me see here, this one, yeah. Okay, let me count these stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're here. I'll just do one more here like this and this, and see how it is here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so it fits me perfectly. I will go and tighten up this so it's not too big. This hole for the thumb is not too big, and it comes up to around here, my glove. Okay, so So that's it, and I will go and sew this one more time around in the opposite direction to tighten it up a little bit. Okay, and now we are ready to start working on our thumb. So we will cast on 7 stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, yep, and we will knit 18 rows. So I need you to knit 18 rows, okay? Knit all the stitches, 18 rows, and do the same thing when you are working with those ends. Always tighten them up, okay? Let me show you. Okay, so you will, let me go and show it to you also in the English style. So you will wrap around and make the stitch, but tighten this one first a little bit, okay? Tighten it up, and then the next one. Always the first one tighten up the one from previous row, and then the one that, okay, it's just knit, oops, 18 rows for the thumb. And when you're done with that, you in the 19th row you will bind off. Okay, this stitch, when you start knitting on over here, also tighten up. Look, you need to tighten up that stitch, and then also this stitch, okay? And this is my 3rd row. Okay, so I have 18 rows, and now this is my 19th, and I will bind off. So you just knit first 2 stitches, and always the one that from previous one you go and pull over. Okay, now I have to make decision if I want to use a longer blue string to sew the thumb part on in here, or the white one. And I have long white one, and I have blue, probably blue one. So we will cut a long blue string because we will need it to tighten up one part, sew this one, and then sew the bottom. Okay, so we will need quite a long one in here, and I would definitely say about maybe 15 inches, so there. And we will pull this through. So what we will do now is, again, like what we did over here, we will weave the long yarn, long tail, through these bumpy things, okay, to tighten it up. So we will do this through every single bumpy thing here, okay. Okay, and which one is gonna be our, it doesn't really matter which one is going to be our front end, or right side and wrong side. You see how nice our thumb is gonna be, nice and cozy. Okay, so tighten it up a lot, and now you just need to sew it. And again, we will go and use the outer here and outer here, okay? let me see, it's gonna be here. Okay, and make it really tight in here. The first one make it really tight, and let's go one more time around. Okay, now don't do it so tight. Okay, and we have the bumpy here, so I'll go through this one and this one here. That's how I will do it here, actually here, like this. And now in the opposite direction through the second one. Yeah, this is the second. You use your judgment how you want to really do it. Okay, here, here, as long as it's nicely lined up and it comes out nice. You can always undo it and redo it if it does not look good when you turn it inside out or outside in, or whichever way. Okay, so here we are. Make sure it's not too tight here so it doesn't go like that. All right, and now let's do it one more time here. Here and here. Let's keep this one in. Okay, because this is on the inside. Later on we will do this, and look, it doesn't look too bad. You see, this is where we did sew it. Okay. Oh, and it's very roomy. I think you could probably do even 17 rows instead of 18, or maybe even 16, but let's go and see how it lines up with this. Okay, so what we need to do is put this one inside. Okay, you remember I tried it, so this is where we were sewing. This is the wrong side, and when you have the wrong side, you need to have it on the right side when you push it in. Okay, so you have to put it on the right side, and right side to right side. And let's have this actually over here. So this is, yes, so this is our seam, and we will start sewing. Okay, this is our inside right here. This is our outside. This is the right side toward the right side, because this is wrong and this is wrong side. Okay, and we just will start sewing around. So you can go sew regular, okay, but the bump with the stitch, you can grab both. You can grab both of these. And another one. And another stitch with the bump. Okay, and another stitch with the bump. And here with the bump, this middle. And now the other side. Okay, stitch with the bump and stitch with the next bump. And another stitch with the bump, and we're coming to the end. Stitch with the bump. Okay, before we make any knots, let's go and see how it looks. Let's put it on the right side. Okay, and here it is. We need to tighten up this one, you remember? Here it is, this long one here. So all I have to do now is just to weave in all my ends, make some knots over here so it doesn't undo. Okay, this one needs to be tightened up so I don't have any hole right there. And that's it. I think that this is really a perfect way of making a glove without knitting in a round or knitting increasing and decreasing. It's for the people who would like to go and create something from two rectangles, you know, that they don't know how to really do many things in knitting, yet still get instant gratification when they're finished. But you can make it adjust it to basically any hand. For bigger hand, for smaller hand, you just make smaller rectangles and either lower number of rows, or you know, if you want it for bigger hand, then you will cast on several more stitches and make over here several more odd number of rows here and here. And then of course you can go and make a bigger, longer thumb by casting on a couple more stitches and you know, determining if you want less rows for thinner thumb or more rows for thicker thumb. So here is our glove. It's all finished, and I thank you very, very much for watching my video, and let me know if you make one. You can comment. Also, please share all my videos. Click on those links below the video, and there will be information also in a description below the videos. Again, thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you another time.